So hello there and welcome to another album review of The Shield on the Couch. I'm your host Hector, and today we're gonna talk about the brand new Red Hot Chili Peppers album and the second album that they released this year, and it's called Return of the Dream Canteen. And what can I say about this album in a nutshell? Like, if you like their classic albums, Californication, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and their earliest stuff, Mother's Milk, you probably won't like this. To me, this band has been on a steady decline since 2006 Stadium Arcadium, and every release after that has been getting worse and worse and worse. To me, they don't sound like that energized band. Instead of like Red Hot Chili Peppers, they're milder, they're older, and that's not a bad thing. But I don't know. This album is the second album that they released with John Frusciante, who came back to the band, which I like because I think he's a great guitar player and he really adds to the band. Nothing against the guitar player that I can't remember his name that was in their last albums, but it was lacking that feeling that John Frusciante has as a guitar player. But even John Frusciante cannot save the mess that is Return of the Dream Canteen. This album is not good. It's pretty, what's the word that I want to use for this album? Boring? Yes, it is a boring album. And it is so fucking long. It's 17 tracks, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Like, did it have to be that long? I do not think so. I think there's a lot of filler on this album and they could have cut half the tracks and it would have flowed better. So I'm going to get into some of the tracks. I'm not going to talk about all the tracks because there's 17 tracks, but the album starts with Tip of My Tongue, which was the lead single that they released. And when this lead single released, I thought the music was okay. I didn't like Anthony Kiedis' vocal delivery, the na 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 na. I don't know, it sounded corny to me and like he was trying too hard to be hip. And the song, it's okay, but if you didn't like that song, you're in for a surprise because that's one of the better songs on this album. Half of this album is a pure snooze fest. It's very like slow tempo, mid tempo songs with a few solos. Flea's bass is always a highlight, and he's a great bassist, so there's no doubt about that. But the songs, like how many songs about California can one band write? Apparently not enough. But yeah, the album flows, the flow of the album it's really slow. And when you're listening to an album and you're like, oh my God, when is this gonna end? Because it feels like a chore. That's what this album felt like to me, like a huge chore to dip into. And the second track, Peace and Love, is so boring. And after the first track, then you got that zoom, that dip. Then you have like a song like Reach Out, which has some, it had a little bit of funkiness to it, but nothing great. To me, the best song on the album is Eddie, which is the second single that they released. And that one has a great guitar solo by John Frusciante. But the lyrics are, that's another thing about this album. Really corny lyrics. In Eddie, which is the best track on the album, the lyrics are like, eh. But then you have songs, I'm going to talk about 3 songs in particular. Bella, My Cigarette, and La 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 La. Those 3 songs in particular have the worst lyrics of this whole album. Like Bella is all about, like, he's talking about this girl that he loves from California. She wants to move to LA. And the lyrics are corny. And Anthony Kiedis' vocal delivery is also, I don't know, it felt off to me. And My Cigarette, it's all like I'm gonna smoke my cigarette. It's just stupid. And La 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 La, it's like a love song of some sort, but they do the La 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 in the chorus, and it's just so cringe, so bad. And it's the band used to write like catchier songs, and this album does not have catchy songs. The songs here are very forgettable. Like sometimes the songs blend into each other. Like you could be listening to Afterlife, it goes into Shoot Me a Smile or Handful, and you're like, I don't know when one ended and when one started. It's that boring. The Drummer is another song that it's like, I don't know, like it's the lyrics were bad too, and it really stood out in a bad way. So the whole album, you know, it's hard to get into. The last songs, Carry Me Home and In the Snow, are just really forgettable. So the best way to describe it, this is an album that you could listen to, like you could be like in an office, in an elevator, and you could play that music, and you know it would fit right in there. You know, I'm sorry to say, but they have lost their edge completely. To me, if I was the Red Hot Chili Peppers, just play the old albums. But do we need new songs if they're gonna be this bad? No, just stop. We don't need any more tunes. Just stick up with the old ones, sing Give It Away, and we'll be just fine. So I don't know if the hardcore fans of the Red Hot Chili Peppers will really enjoy this album. It's really like there's like really a little burst of funkiness to them, but like very constrained. You know, it's not like full bombastic or catchy. Like I said, I don't think the songs here are catchy at all. Even Eddie, which is one of the best songs, I wouldn't particularly say that it's catchy or that memorable, except for that great solo that John Frusciante has. But even John Frusciante back in the band does not save this album. You know, this is a quite forgettable release that I'm not going to ever listen to ever again because it's that bad. I don't even gonna listen to the singles. I'm just going to pretend that it didn't happen. So Return of the Dream Canteen for me is a bad, forgettable album. So I would want to know, did you like this album? What are your favorite tracks? Comment. I would really want to know how you think this album rates with some of their earlier material. And if you like the videos I'm putting out, don't forget to give me a like and don't forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way. So coming up this weekend no, but I'll have an album review for the new Alter Bridge. I will do that with Señorita Sabrosura. So be on the lookout for that one sometime next week. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield doing a couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.